निमित्तत्वात् पुनः प्रत्यवातिष्ठते. Synonyms. Kvachit, in a certain case, tattva, the fundamental principles, avamrashena, by reflecting upon, nivrittam, avoided, bhayam, fear, ulbanam, great, anivrit, not seized, nimittatvat, since the cause, punah, again, pratyavatishthe, it appears. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. Translation: even if the great fear of bondage is avoided by mental speculation and inquiry into the fundamental principles, it may still appear again, since its cause has not ceased. It may still appear again. It means the great fear of bondage. It will come again. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ji. Purport: material bondage is caused by putting oneself under the control of matter because of the false ego of lording it over material nature. Bhagavad Gita 7:27 states, Ichha Dvesh Smuttena. Two kinds of propensities arise in the living entity. One propensity is Ichha, which means desire to lord it over material nature, or to be as great as the Supreme Lord. Everyone desires to be the greatest personality in this material world. Dvesha means envy. When one becomes envious of Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one thinks, why should Krishna be the all and all? I am as good as Krishna. These two items, desire to be the Lord and envy of the Lord, are the beginning cause of material bondage. As long as a philosopher, Salvinist or voidist has some desire to be supreme, to be everything, or to deny the existence of God, the cause remains, and there is no question of his liberation. Devahuti very intelligently says, one may theoretically analyze and say that by knowledge he has become freed. But actually, as long as the cause exists, he is not free. Bhagavad Gita confirms that after performing such speculative activities for many, many births, one actually comes to his real consciousness and surrenders onto the Supreme Lord Krishna. Then the fulfillment of his research in knowledge is actually achieved. We understand the verse Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanamam Prapadite. There is a gulf of difference between theoretical freedom and actual freedom from material bondage. The Bhagavatam says that if one gives up the auspicious path of devotional service and simply tries to know things by speculation, one wastes his valuable time. Klishyanti ye keval bodh labdhe. The result of such a labor of love is simply labor. There is no other result. The labor of speculation is ended only by exhaustion. The example is given that there is no benefit in husking the skin of an empty paddy. The rice is already gone. Similarly, simply by the speculative process, one cannot be freed from material bondage. For the cause still exists. One has to nullify the cause, and then the effect will be nullified. This is explained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the following verses. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadameham Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sangitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padahan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Mitamcha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate He Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Taruvyaksha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we welcome all the Vaishnavas to this wonderful discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam on this supremely auspicious day of Lord Nityananda's appearance day, Nityananda Triyodashi. So we'll speak something about from this verse, and then we'll spend a few minutes speaking about Lord Nityananda. So this particular discussion, Mother Devahuti asked very pointed question. Sometimes we say $1 million question to Lord Kapil Dev, that this soul is stuck in this body, and how is that? What needs to be done? How is that the soul can get free from the entanglement of the material nature, the three modes, practically from this body? So Mother Devhuti asked that question just 3 verses before this. And this is the last, you can say, statement of Mother Devhuti in reference to that question. That question is covered 4 verses. This is the 4th verse. Mother Devhuti is saying, even if the great fear of bondage is avoided, that bondage of the soul is getting bonded by the three modes. Three modes are capturing the soul in this body and in this material world. That bondage she's talking about. So great fear is avoided by mental speculation and inquiry into the fundamental principle. It may still appears again. That fear will come again. It will not go away because the root cause of that fear is not addressed. Just in like when we go to see the doctors here in this country, Western medicine, they generally don't spend too much time looking at the cause. They look at the disease and then they try to cure the disease. What's happening today? You're sick, you take some tablets. Your diabetes, take some tablet. But why your diabetes? Little bit energy spent on that, but not so much. The cause is not addressed properly. Doctors don't have time. The patient doesn't have the time. They just want something to be cured now. Why it happened? It requires much more time, much more understanding, much more energy investment. So that's what Mother Devati is asking through this question, that the cause is not addressed just by the speculative mental knowledge, answering some questions, practically that Sankhya principle. Why, how, when. So those questions are nice, need to be asked, but then still they don't address the root cause. So Srila Prabhupada writes in this purport beautifully, this verse from chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita. This is because the Ichcha Dvesh Samutena, this bondage is there, bondage of the three modes that's subjected to the soul is because of these two, Isha and Dvesh. Desire and desires are there because Dvesh, envy is there, hatred is there. These are the two sides of the same coin. It's kind of very difficult to separate them. Whenever there is Icha, the hate will come. Whenever there hate, Icha will come. So this envy, Dvesh, especially we developed that for other living entities, but then that also get opposed to Krishna. So our nature becomes like that we like to, we want what other people have, not only what we want, what people have, but we want what they have. We want that, and we don't want them to have that. That's envy. Jealousy is what we want to have. What other people have, we want to have also. But envy is that we don't want other people to have, and we want everything. So that's that envy, especially when it's posed to the Supreme Person Krishna, that why Krishna is so, why he has all these opulences, why not me? So that's the idea for Hiranyakashipu, Kansa, Jarasandha, Shishupal, Ravana. That's their idea. Dvesh. And because of that dvesh towards the Supreme Person of Godhead, they have their own now desires that I want to be worshipped. I want to look like Krishna. I want to have the kingdom and the opulences and the Shaktis and the power. And they performed great austerities. And they feel like, and they get more and more, it's like going into the mud, inner 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 sanctum of the mud. You get stuck more and more and more. You had your 1 feet in there, but now you go up to the knee and thighs, and then you're stuck in the mud. So that's what happened with those envious non-devotees of the Lord. So that's the principle. And then starting from next verse, Lord Kapila will explain beautifully in next almost 10 verses how this process of getting rid of the fear of bondage and addressing the cause, how to do that step by step by step. Lord Kapila will explain by performing great austerities, by performing, he used the word tivar, he used the word amala atmana, with a pure mind. You must worship me, perform my devotional services. But at the very end, we will see Lord Kapila will use the word then mat prasadan. By performing all these devotional services with great focus, with pure mind, with austerities, by hearing about me for a long time, all these instructions Lord Kapila will give. But at the very end, he will use the word that even then, it's only by my prasad, mat prasadan, by my prasad, by my mercy, this cutting, from the conditional state, from the three modes will happen by my mercy. So that's beautifully explained in next few verses. This is something we can say something about Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Lord Nityananda Ram. Today is such a special day. His mercy incarnation. Balaram is Virjinder Nandan Sai. Sachi Sutta Hoile Sai. Balaram Hoile Nitai. He's Balaram himself. In Gaur Leela is Nityananda, Nitai. So I'll say a few words about his childhood pastime, and then in the evening at 7:30 we will say something more about his role in Gaur Leela. His role, very, very special role in Gaur Leela that Nityananda Prabhu plays. He is the center of Gaur Leela, to be honest. We will speak about that. So Nityananda Ram, he appears in Ekachakra Dham. It's explained some 12 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears on this planet Earth. His father name is Hidai Pandit. His mother name is Padmavati. Mother Padmavati. And all his friends. And he was very young when he started showing the sign. He was like 4, 5, 6 year old. that he was performing Krishna Leela and Ram Leela every day. It's explained that he would gather his friends in the neighborhood. Now, 4, 5, 6-year-old, it's parents also haven't told them so much yet. They haven't read any books yet. But Lord Nityananda, Nitai, being the form of Balaram, he knew everything. So he would gather his friends and he will bring all of them in one room and he will turn all the lights off and close all the doors and the windows, and it'll get very dark. And then Nityananda Prabhu will tell all his friends that, okay, today we're going to perform Krishna's birth time. So this dark room is a prison house where Vasudeva and Devaki is residing. They're staying there in the prison of Khansa. And then he will find a little basket, and then he'll find a little doll, and he'll make one of his friend as Vasudev, and he'll say, okay, you put this basket on your head, you put the doll in the basket, and then this is Krishna's birth today. And then you will go outside the home, there is a small pond, and you will cross the Yamuna and take Krishna to Gokula. So they'll do this, you can say, play, drama, enactment of pastimes of Krishna every day. And parents would be mesmerized that we have never told neither Nitai, neither all these young children, all these stories. How come they know? When Nitai would perform all these stories. Then one day he had a Vakula tree in his backyard, and he picked up many branches of Vakula tree, and then they turned them into, they molded those Vakula tree branches and put them in this Padmavati pond outside the home again. And Nitai would go in the pond and make those branches as like hoods of Kaliya, and then Nitai would get on top of those branches, like doing a Kaliya Daman, Kaliya Leela in Krishna's pastimes. And then he will have all his friends, these young children. He will say, okay, you enter into the Yamuna and you drink this water. This Padmavati river is a Yamuna pond. And you drink the water, and water is poisonous by the Kaliya's presence. And then those friends will also they will enact as if they drank the poison from the Yamuna and now they become unconscious. So these Krishna's pastimes. And then Lord Ram's pastimes, because Nita is Balaram, his form of Lakshman. So he would also perform Lord Ram Leela at home. So one time it's explained that he took the role of Lakshman, and some of his friends, they took the side of the Ravana, and one of the friends became Indrajit. And Indrajit shot an arrow, and Lakshman became unconscious. So Nitai, he fell on the ground, he became unconscious. And for minutes, for hours, for a long time, he will not come back. He will not get up from his unconscious state. And then parents came other parents from other children, they also came around. They said, "What's happening? Nita is not coming back." They were crying. So then one parent found out that he's Lakshman, he's unconscious, he needs Sanjeevani. So who's going to go? Hanuman is supposed to go. So this one child is supposed to be the Hanuman, but he forgot. He got so absorbed watching Nitai becoming unconscious that he forgot that he's Hanuman. So everybody told him, "Hey, you are Hanuman. You better go get Sanjeevani." So he brought some Arab from the backyard and he gave to Lakshman, Nitai, and Nitai became conscious. So those kind of pastimes were very, very dearing, very, very dearing to the parents of Nitai, obviously, but all other parents. So everybody in the town of Ekachakra, they became so close. They became, Nitai became the darling of the whole Ekachakra Dham. And one day, when he was 11, 12-year-old, one sannyasi came to Nitai's house and he met Hidayat Pandit and Padmamati mother, and he said, "I want to stay for a few days, but I have one condition." They said, "Yes, whatever, we will serve you. Please stay." So he stayed for 3 days and he did katha all 3 days, and Nitai would hear that katha, and mother and father would hear the katha. And after 3 days, this sannyasi said, "Now I must leave, but I'm going on a pilgrimage and I don't have any young brahmachari servant. So can I take you, Nitai?" And that was like a bombshell on the heart of Hidayat Pandit and Padmamati, Mother Padmamati. Not only them, but when the other parents of other children in Ekachakra, they came to know, they all became unconscious because losing Nitai from Ekachakra was like losing the life air. He was the life air of all the resident of Ekachakra. But how they can say no to Nitai, to this sannyasi? So Nitai Pandit asked Padmavati, and Padmavati said, "Whatever you desire, my husband." So they let Nitai go with this sannyasi. So Nityananda Prabhu traveled for more than 10, 12 years in all the directions, in all the holy dhams of India. And that's where he met his Guru Maharaj, Madhavendra Puri also. So we will continue our Nityananda Prabhu's Katha in the evening if time permits. Krishna allow us to do that. Nityananda Ram ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai. Panchakalpa Taruvyakshya Kripa Sindhu Vicha Patitana Bhavana Vaishnavi. Nityananda Triyodashi ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dekendra. Thank you very much. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. A day filled with festivities. We will have, today is Lord Nityananda Triyodashi. We'll have evening program from 6 to 9. So please come and participate in this very special program of Nityananda Triyodashi. Today's Pana time, breaking fast time, is from 6:43 to 10:21 a.m. So that's the Pana breaking fast time of the fasting from Ekadasi yesterday. And today's fasting was already done yesterday till noon. So today's feasting day. Nityananda Ram ki jai. We like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shina Shingo, Jai Nashingo, Jai Jai Nashingo, Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. Ugravira Mahavitam Jalantam Sarvato Mukam Narsingam Bhishanam Bhadramityam Namyam. Narsinga Bhagwan ki Jai, Prahlad ki Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the humble listeners. Vanchakalpatarubhayasya kripa sindhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Vaishnavinda ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Gaur Premanande.
Hari 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 Bol.
Hari Hari. Thank you,
Thank you everybody. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari.
Nityananda Trayodashi to everyone. Hari Hari. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you.